I'm gonna hit the record button. Hi, everybody. Shelley here. It is September the 10th. This is our 6 weeks to success call. And if you're on this call, it means you are nearly halfway through our 6 weeks to success. Give yourselves a great big hand. Proud of you guys. Way to go. We were just talking about last week. We've got a couple gals here, and then I know there's a lot of people who will be watching the recording, but please do, because there's a bunch of directors that are leading this program, and so we each get a chance to lead a week. We don't see you every week, so do an introduction. Tell us whose team you're on. And one big takeaway you got from last week's topic was bookings and prospecting, and it was led by Jennifer. So who wants to introduce and go first?
I'll go first. I'm Monica Ryan. I'm on Brenda's team in Lee, Massachusetts, and I'd say the biggest takeaway from prospecting is really just developing relationships and being genuine in approaching people and passionate too, but trust and developing relationships is kind of at the crux of going anywhere with people, and it's what the business is all about. That's what attracted me to the business too. Just a lot of genuinely wonderful ladies and guys that work with Pampered Chef.
You're spot on. You're absolutely right. We've been finding that personally. I've been developing a lot more virtual business for my predominantly in-person business, and you can post all day long, and it just will not make the connection until, say, you go live in one of those virtual parties and say hello to everybody, and they get a chance to see your face and know you're real, and then you got to do that first, right? It's absolutely true. You make a very good point. So I love it, and it's just, we're all unique, and just let yourself show, because you have lots of experience to share, don't you? Thank you, Monica, so much. How are you guys? You're well out of the way of the hurricane path?
Yeah, I think so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
In Massachusetts.
Yeah, we're way up north.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Oh my gosh. I was just hearing from someone who said that all, her virtual parties are all canceling because of the hurricane. I'm like, wow, when you go do live parties, those cancel and turn into virtual parties when there's a storm, but this is a big deal. Yeah. Brenda, tell us where you are and what your biggest takeaway from last week was.
From the bookings or the host coaching?
The bookings. This week is host coaching. Last week was bookings. Yeah.
My name is Brenda Haywood. I'm a director in Massachusetts, and my biggest takeaways is, again, I haven't done out and about leads in a long time, and so it just kind of reinforced the idea and gave me that confidence again about reminding myself to get out there and get my minis ready and go start up some conversations. But also I just recently did a booth at a vendor fair, like a 6-day vendor fair also. So and again, I got a lot of bookings from that, and I'm still working on getting more as well. So
marvelous. That's a fabulous
craft fair. So
yeah, and I know Jennifer talked a lot about that last week and how they're great for getting new business, but it absolutely requires extensive follow-up.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, calls like that day or the very next day, and then 2 days later, and then 2 days later, and follow-up. If you're not going to do the follow-up, just tear your money up into little pieces, throw it away, and go do something else during that time, right?
Yeah, but what I can say, it definitely is worth the work, because I'm still having shows from, when I did the fair, like say 3 years ago. I just recently, one of my past hosts from one of those bookings has joined the team, and then she has, 2 of her friends have recently, joined the team as well, after a few years. So they definitely pay off in the long run.
Wow, that's fantastic. It's worth it to track your results from just a single effort, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. How long have you done Pampered Chef, Brenda?
11 years, 11 and a half years. So, yeah, and I've been doing fairs probably ever since the beginning.
Okay, great, great. So you guys pick Brenda's brain. She's got a wealth of experience. And Brenda's going to be leading us on week 5 when we do our customer service week. So I'm really excited to get a chance to learn from you, Brenda. Thank you. Awesome. How about you, Anna?
Hi, everybody. I'm Anna. I'm under Brenda as well, and I'm in Connecticut. And I feel like I'm trying to look at my notes as I don't know that I had one huge takeaway from last week. I feel like I had a couple. Like Brenda said, I really want to try using more, I guess PC gear and being out and about and being able to talk to people about the business at random is what I kind of have been thinking about it, but I realize there are a lot of aspects of this business and company that I don't really take advantage of quite yet. And I really want to get more involved, whether it's with the fundraisers or the fairs or even just all of the learning opportunities that PCU has to offer. And some things that I'm just not quite familiar with, like I know they mentioned full service checkout several times last week, and I really want to try to get more, I guess, knowledge in my gun, so that I can spread it to everybody else.
How long have you done Pampered Chef, Anna?
A little over a year.
Okay, one good year. That's great. And I just celebrated my 18th anniversary. There's still things that you come back to and go, I need to get more solid on, and just like the list you just gave. So it's a brilliantly wonderful place to be. You got started, you're going, and you're continually improving, you're continually tweaking, you're continually learning. But it's a great ride all along. So fantastic. Good. Did you go to a national conference with us?
I did, yes.
Yes? Marvelous. It was good to see your face. I knew I recognized you. We had pizza together.
Yes.
Cool. Very good. That was only just not too long ago, just over a month.
Yeah.
I know. So much has happened. There's so much that's exciting. It's great. Well, thank you for sharing. So as you know, the message that I would say to you, you've got other things that you want to focus on the full service checkout. You want to focus more on fairs and fundraisers. Pick a focus and try to keep your laser beam focus on it for, a week or 2 weeks and master and improve that. And then, something else. If you diverse your focus too very much, you get lost in the weeds. But my 2 cents, September and October, a fundraiser focus would be super smart. Quick cooker and fundraiser focus. There you go. There's your 2-month action plan. How about that?
Cool.
Our job here is done. Okay, Melissa, you're up. Are you still there? Can you hear us?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you very well. Yes, great. Go for it. Where are you and how long have you done Pampered Chef?
I am on Shaughnessy's team, but I'm from Delaware. Okay. And I have been doing Pampered Chef for 6 months.
Oh, great. Okay. So far, you're the youngster on the group, on the call today. Great. 6 months. And what was at least one really good takeaway you got from our bookings and prospecting week last week?
I think I learned, well, I agree with everything everybody else has said. I wore my apron to 3 different stores this week. That's super exciting. But I also learned, I felt like from the homework on PCU, a lot about how to book from parties,
right.
Which is something that I haven't been able to do yet, but I think I got really good ideas. I like those envelopes that have the prizes in them, and they have the date on the front or whatnot, and you give it to them at their party. I just thought, I was like, okay, I'm really excited to implement those at the next party.
Awesome. There are all kinds of little fun ideas like that. Do me a favor and post that one, and if you've got any kind of picture or image for it, post it on our your 6 Weeks to Success Facebook page, just so that you've got a place.
I don't have Facebook.
You're not a Facebook girl. Oh, you're
No.
Okay, that's fine. Melissa, meet Kim. Kim, meet Melissa. Sorry, Kim thinks we're like live on Facebook. We really don't, I promise you. Okay, it's just a great networking place for us consultants. So Melissa, thank you for sharing. That's great. And send that idea to Shaughnessy, who will then share it with the team on our group there for the 6 weeks to success. Okay.
Okay.
Great. Hey, Kim, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the top seller on our team last month. She beat me. Go figure. Woo! That's in her first month, too. Excellent. We're delighted that you're here. Clearly, this program is helping, huh? You know what? I think you've got the mute button on, Kim. Take a look and see. Or turn up the volume on your keyboard button, your plus and minus. Go ahead, try it again. I can hear you just a little bit. So on your keyboard, are you on keyboard or phone?
I'm on my keyboard.
Okay, so the row of buttons across the keyboard at the top, there's a plus and a minus volume button. Hit that plus one until it goes all the way up.
Is that better?
Nope. And then, is it a little bit better for you guys? I can't hear her.
I've got it.
No, not really.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, the other thing we're going to use here is click down at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There's a picture of a little chat window. Click that open, and that's a great place. As I'm talking and training you about host coaching today, you can be asking questions or giving other ideas or participating basically in that chat function. So Kim, you can see that, because can you guys hear Kim?
I can't.
Okay, so wherever your speaker might be blocked, possibly. So Kim is in her first month here in California, but not terribly close to me. And once you figure out how we can hear you, jump right in, Kim, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to kind of move us along. Okay, thank you. And then looks like Robin just joined us. Robin, hey, I'm glad to see you here. Can you hear us? Are you unmuted, Robin? Okay, so use the chat off in the side to introduce yourself, guys. Tell us who's your director, how long you've been Pampered Chef, and I'll be sure and share that chat script at the end on our Facebook page as well. Okay, so I think I got everybody. And if you hadn't heard, I'm Shelley. I'm an advanced director, 18 years last month, and I'm in the Northern California area outside of the San Francisco and Oakland area. I am honored to lead us on host coaching as our topic tonight. And honestly, I was working with I have 3 virtual parties this week, and my goal is to do 3 virtual parties every single week. And I've been very focused on those today. So at 4:59, I opened up the notes for today. So I didn't do any prep whatsoever. However, I will preface this and tell you that host coaching is it's my jam. I love host coaching. If you were to ask which area of Pampered Chef, if I focused on it most, would I raise my entire business? And I would tell you it's host coaching. So I do have some, let me see if I can find my notes and actually share my screen. Did you guys come prepared with host coaching questions? I'm helping Robin, she's on my team. Brenda, thank you very much, appreciate that. Does anybody have burning host coaching questions? Because if you get me going, I'll just go, but I do want to be sure to address what your big issues are. So who has some host coaching questions? You guys are host coaching pros, yes? Monica says, what is a red stamp invitation? Okay, red stamp invitation. We'll be sure and throw in information that they don't have the app anymore. Thank you, Melissa. You're absolutely right. So in the day, kind of, there's imagery pictures out there that Pampered Chefs have fancied up, and actually they would take like a picture, let's say a picture of the quick cooker, and open up the app red stamp, and they'd write, come to Jennifer's party on September 20th at 1 o'clock. Here's her link. And they would make a picture that would be an invite. So the she says she misses it. It was super easy. The newer version of that I've heard about is Canva, C-A-N-V-A, canva.com, and it's an app. And also I use it on my computer screen. And I'm not too terribly proficient at it, but I use it. I've used it for a number of things, but it's a real quick, what do you call it, designing kind of thing. You don't have to be terribly professional to make something that you can turn into a picture, a snapshot. So does that help a little bit? Okay, that's Monica. Any other host coaching questions? Okay, as you think of them, post them. And if I don't see it on the chat because I have the other screen up, somebody nudge me and let me know that it's there. Someone be my helper bee for today, okay? So I will share the screen just because we have this really helpful visuals for our 6 weeks to success. And now we are week 3. We are halfway through, really. If you've made it this far, I'm super proud of you. You know, week by week, you get an invitation to the next week once you've done all your homework and checked off your to-do list. And that adds an element of accountability. What do you guys think of that? Is it keeping you on track? That if you don't do your homework, you don't get to keep on going, right? We did 6 weeks to success in the summer and started with 14 people and 1 person graduated. Busy time summer, right? But no matter how many weeks you participate, obviously your goal is to finish the 6 weeks. But if you're getting something out of every single week, that's a great, brilliant thing. So we kind of summarized what we've learned so far. This is our topic. And that was probably done with Canva right there. Cool picture and text right over the top. Okay, so and you guys all listen to Jennifer Courtney's, can you see my screen, by the way? Raise your hand if you can see my screen. So I'm not hearing everybody terribly well. Okay, so Jennifer kind of highlighted host coaching for us, and she's absolutely right in saying that host coaching, they say, is where you earn your paycheck. It's the preliminary things that you do in advance of the live or virtual party. And then my favorite, one of my dear friends, C.K. Hall, is a longtime director with Pampered Chef. She says, once you've host coached, you go to the party, you cook the food, take the orders, book the party, sign the consultants, and go home. Okay? Host coaching is where you earn your paycheck. And so here's kind of the visual I like to, how I like to describe when I'm talking to my new consultants and trying to describe this. Okay, so here I want you to kind of picture this scenario. Let's say that you book a party. Okay, and I just booked a party for October 27th. That's a month and a half from now. I don't typically like to do that. We talked very detailed, and she's got all these things going on. So it's October 27th. And I booked it on Sunday at my party. It was a live party. Okay, this works for virtual or live. So those are interchangeable in this discussion. Let's say that you book a party and then you show up that day for the party. You do nothing else between now and then. Tell me, what's going to happen? What will your result be? You knock, knock, knock on the door or go to start the virtual party. What's going to happen if you do no host coaching?
She forgot you were coming.
Absolutely. You are spot on. She's at the mall and her husband's answering the door saying, who are you? Okay. And if you're lucky, there's 1 or 2 people there, right? Her mom and her sister. Okay. Have you ever experienced that party? There's red flags for a non-host coached party. You know what they are. one or two people attend, or it cancels the night before, or you struggle to get it up to $200 to qualify. Okay, is this sounding familiar? That is a function of host coaching. So compared to a host coached party, a host coached party has 15 to 20 people in the room or ordering.
Start video or stop video.
You guys hearing me? A host coached party has 2 to 3 bookings. A host coached party has $1,000 to $1,500 in sales or more. A host coached party has 1, 2, 3, or 4 recruit leads.
On your computer.
Host coached party has the host signing up and signing her best friend. Okay, which would you rather have? Because honestly, you get to do the same amount of work for either one of those two parties. Same amount of work to pack your bag, same amount of work to drive to her house and set up, same amount of work for her to go get the ingredients and have everything ready there for you to come. And host coach versus non-host coach dictates what the results are. So that's the story.
You probably have to scroll over.
Brenda, I'm going to ask you to, I think it's Brenda, click your mute button, or do you want me to do it for you?
You'll just see my name because I don't.
Okay, I hit it for her. All right. Does anybody know, have you experienced what I'm talking about? I muted you, Brenda. Tell me when you need unmuted. So for those guys, have you ever had that happen? Anna?
Yes.
Yeah? It doesn't feel terrific, does it?
No.
No, it's no fun. Yeah. Okay. So if your business is kind of slumping, host coaching can solve it. Okay. Assuming that you have what you did last week, which is bookings. So you get some bookings on the calendar, and then you host coach like an animal and bring your $300 show average up to a $900 show average. It will be remarkable, because what's the difference between having 2 people in the room versus 15 people in the room? 2 people at a virtual party versus 15 interacting at a virtual party. What's actually physically the difference during one of those parties?
How much the people are selling to each other.
The interaction with each other, exactly. What else? Go ahead, guys. What else? Brenda, I'm unmuting you so that, because you're off your phone call now. So it's a function of the excitement, right?
Yeah.
There's much more excitement. Yeah. You've got 2 or 3 people in the room. They feel awkward. They feel pressured. Even if you're not, they feel really like they're pressured to buy because there's only 2 or 3 of them there, right? So you'd much rather have standing room only. And I'll tell my host this, you'd much rather have people stuffed into every corner. My party on Sunday, her house was bitty, 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 little tiny. And they kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And we were standing in her kitchen, and we had a couple chairs around for the grandma to sit on. But for the most part, we were all just kind of packed into her kitchen. It was a riot. It was so much fun. That's what you want. Because they're excited. They want to have that. They want to have their kitchen full. They want to have their friends have lots of fun. Okay? So does that kind of give you the big picture? So host coaching is a skill, and it is a skill you can learn and you can master. And they say there really are only a handful of skills within Pampered Chef that you as the consultant need to master. And if you look at the schedule for this 6 weeks to success, 1 week on each of those skills. You know, we work on your belief. We work on helping you learn how to get bookings and prospect. We work on your host coaching. That's today. Next week, we work on your show and having a really solid show. We work on helping you recruit and know how to do that. These are skills. Okay, so raise your hand if you're a professional expert host coacher. I'm not seeing any hands. Okay, so let's work on it a little bit, okay? Oh, Brenda is, good girl. Okay, how do you coach your hosts? I'm really glad you asked. Okay, and really it's a matter of if you were blindfolded and if you had a host and didn't explain to them how to have a good party, would they be able to do it? If you were blindfolded and someone had handed you a basketball and said, go ahead and make a basket from the foul line, you wouldn't be able to do it because you have no idea what you're doing and you can't see where you're going. So host coaching is really about giving your hosts the tools to do their job. So here's how I want you to kind of think about your hosts. Your hosts don't know this going into it, but in reality, they are a short-term, part-time, unpaid employee. Okay, if you were a manager at a store or at something and you had employees, you would need to train them. You would need to guide them. Think of your children. You need to guide them. You need to teach them how to clean a bathroom, how to vacuum the rug, how to do these things that we take for granted. So I want you to think about your hosts as if they were your kids, kind of, or as if they were your an employee of yours, because really they're short term. It's just going to be a short period of time that you work with them on their party until they book their next one. And they really, if you were guiding your hosts, and tell me how you would react if you were talking to your host like this. Let's pretend. Brenda, you got a second? You want to be my pretend host?
Sure.
Okay, great. So let's say you've booked a party for next week, and you and I get on the phone or via text or via Facebook Messenger or whatever method we're communicating, which you can host coach in all those different ways, and you should. And we get on the phone. So ring, ring, ring. Brenda, pick up the phone.
Hello, this is Brenda.
Brenda, hey, this is Shelley with the Pampered Chef. How are you?
Hey, Shelley, I'm doing okay. How are you?
Marvelous. So look, we've got your party on the calendar for next week. I'm so excited. I want you to be inviting everybody like crazy. I'm going to send you a grocery list and you're going to get the ingredients. And of course, you're going to have people who want to order. And so you're going to collect outside orders, and don't forget to get all their contact information. And I'll set this up on Facebook for you and make a Facebook event, and you'll get the shopping list and the ingredients and how you feeling right about now, Brenda?
A little overwhelmed, actually.
A little overwhelmed. So
Yeah.
you would never do that, right? Have you ever host coached like that? I mean, back in the day?
Back in the day, I'm sure I have.
Absolutely. Back in the day, definitely. But you and I are a little more seasoned, like our good stoneware, right? We know that you're going to overwhelm your host that way. You would overwhelm your kids. You would overwhelm your, an employee if you just threw all these things at them. I mean, we're busy people. Most of us are moms. We like to get recognition. We get enough bossing around from our boss and our mother ourselves. We don't need to be bossed around by our pampered chef, do we? So here's what I want to recommend instead. And you might recognize this from what you do with your kids, possibly. It may not work. But when you've booked a party with somebody, you want to ask their permission. You want to ask their permission to coach them, to have a great party. So when I first am booking a party, my first question to my host, Brenda, it would be, Brenda, hey, ring, 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 pick up your phone this time. We'll do it a little bit differently.
Hello, this is Brenda.
Brenda, hey, this is Shelley with the Pampered Chef. How are you doing?
Hey, Shelley, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm marvelous. I'm so excited about our party next week. Do you have just 2 minutes to chat?
I do.
Fantastic. Hey, my biggest first question for you is, would you like to know how to have an absolute humdinger of a successful party?
Well, of course. I'm really looking forward to it. Want lots of free products.
Marvelous. Excellent. Guys, what did she just do? What did Brenda just do? She gave me permission to coach her. Okay? I asked her if she would allow me to show her how to have a good party. And then I stopped and waited. and I let her tell me. That little thing right there goes an incredibly long way. I offered to show her how to have a humdinger of a party, and she said, yeah, I want lots of free products. Okay, marvelous. So now we can talk about really what amounts to only the two major focuses that you need to give your host. Let me find out what my slides are saying here. We kind of talked about this. Do you want a big party or a ho-hum party, right? Okay, and you do start at the party. Oftentimes, Brenda, if I'm actually my party on Sunday, when they were booking with me when we were doing the full service checkout. Who just mentioned that they wanted to get better at full service checkout?
I did.
I do.
Okay, this is part of full service checkout. Is you're giving your host. Hi, Sean. How are you doing? You're giving your host or your customer who has just experienced the party, and you're giving them your full attention, and you're making sure to do a full service experience to help them. And it's all about helping them. And it's, did you have a good time tonight? Are we going to cook with you and your friends? Would you like to grab a date on my calendar so we can cook together? Would you like some information about doing Pampered Chef or fundraisers, right? You're offering the services that you have in when you're helping them check out with their order. It might be as, something like they've got a round stone, the large round stone on their order, and you say, oh, are you making pizza? Do you need a garlic press with that? Do you need Italian seasoning with that? That is part of a full service checkout. Okay. So, if the waitress was coming to help you at the restaurant and you ordered a hamburger, they wouldn't just come back and bring you a piece of meat on 2 pieces of bread. They'd ask, do you want lettuce and tomato? Would you like mustard, ketchup, and mayo? Would you like onions and pickles and, fries with that? Dessert, a milkshake. That's full service, okay? And part of your full service is offering a chance for them to get a date and be one of your hosts. And it's at that point, Brenda, when they book a date with you right then during full service checkout, that's where I typically am asking. So that's great. We're going to have a party next week. Would you like to know how to have an absolutely stupendous party? Don't hit them with all the things they have to do. Ask their permission. Okay. And it might, if you need a little bit more help with that, you might ask your host these questions. What about today's party did you love that you want me to do at yours? What products are you most excited about? So it's all about her and finding out what you can do to make the party a really good experience for her. What's at the top of the wish list? Okay. So these are steps you can do at the beginning of a party to help her have a really good one. But the most important thing is to ask her permission. Okay. So there are in fact some words that you can use, and you want to, if you need, does anybody really rely on scripts? Do you like to have the words in front of you before you call somebody on the phone?
Like for booking calls, I certainly do. Host coaching, I'm a little bit better at, but.
Okay. You'll get to the point where certainly right now, if you're newer, a script is a crutch that is a very helpful thing for you right now. 18 years, well, even 1 year into my Pampered Chef business, I could host coach in the car on the way to a party. And I still do, because I can do it in my sleep. So if you hear me saying these words and you're like, gosh, they just flow and I can't get mine to flow. Well, no kidding. Have you done Pampered Chef for 18 years? Once you have, you're going to be spewing it out just like me too. Okay? Promise. The only difference between you and me is that I started earlier. That's it. And I stayed. Don't ever stop doing Pampered Chef because you're investing in being able to just have this be a finely oiled machine by 18 years, even 2-3 years into your business. Okay. So here's a script for you, and I will take a snapshot of this and put it on our Facebook page, or if you need to, take a screenshot of it right now. Zoom actually has a screenshot aspect up at the top that will just snap the screen if you're seeing anything you're really liking. Any chat stuff that's been going on that I have not been seeing? If there's anything out there, I'm not, because I can't see the chat screen at all right now. Okay.
Melissa was asking about people seem to have different ideas on how often to contact the host. And when to do the closer to the party contacts. I just mentioned that home office, has the host information contact, the information sheet and the checklist, and they outline 3 different calls.
Yeah, absolutely. Touching your host. Well, and I would honestly say probably more than that. Number one, it's a function of how far in advance you booked your party.
Right.
Okay, my gal and I will tell people, do you ever run into that? You're talking with somebody about doing a party and they say, oh, 2 months from now. Okay. My typical response, this is kind of under the booking skills category, but I want to be sure that you've got tools in your tool bag to deal with this, because people will haphazardly say, oh, let's do it in 2 months. Let's do it in 3 months. Okay. They don't know how much work that's going to be, because it's a lot more work. And my response to that is, we can certainly book it for the end of October or into November. But geez Louise, for you and me both, that is a lot more work for us both to keep that sitting on our calendar for a month and a half or 2 months. In general, my folks who cook with me and we do parties together, they're having it next week, at the most 2 weeks from now. Boom, it's simple, it's easy. We do one, we invite a text, an email, a Facebook message, and ta-da, we're cooking with everybody who's able to come. And really, that's about 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 of the people you invite will be there to cook with us. The other 4, they will place orders and book their own parties. Okay, so getting good at that, at a response to that, is critical for you to master. It's part of the booking skills. And because what kind of an impact will it have on your business? If you're booking today, you know that you're booking for next week successfully versus booking for 2 months from now. It's a whole different dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different energy.
Yeah, it used to be back in the day that it was like a sign of like, wow, like it was April and I was booked into October. Like, oh, look at me. That's terrible. It's really difficult to manage that kind of a schedule. So you want to be booking really close in. Book in close. Okay. So that's a little extra for you. So I know that their recommendation. So home office has training call for 3 methods, and there's checklists for live parties and there's checklists for virtual parties. Here's one of my recommendations for you. Name a day of the week that is your host coaching day. Okay, it doesn't mean you're in your office and you're host coaching all day. It's just the day that you touch your host. It's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's Friday. It doesn't matter. Name a day. And then let's say you call it Monday as your host coaching day. You touch every host you have on that day. Whether it's a text message, whether it's a Facebook message, whether it's a phone call. So that every host you have is hearing from you every week. Okay, if you have a party that's booked a month out, they will hear from you 4 times, because there's 4 weeks in a month, every Monday. They're going to be very impressed at how organized you are. And they're also not going to feel abandoned. So the answer to how often to host coach, here's the answer. It's more than you're doing now. Pampered Chef over the years has polled our hosts. And in fact, now with Tracy Brick Pool, they're hosts get a survey. As soon as you hit the button and close a party, they get a survey. Pampered Chef is doing a phenomenal job of getting feedback from our customers and our hosts instantly, right away. They are, and they're employing and implementing that. And over the years, the number one piece of feedback from hosts, any guesses? I've given you some hints here, but any guesses about what the biggest feedback is from hosts when they pull them?
Not hearing from us enough.
That's it. Ding, 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 ding. I wish I had more guidance from my consultant. I didn't hear from them enough. Okay, that's the feedback. Now, if you're brand new, you're probably sitting there going, but I don't know how to guide them. I don't know what to do. Okay, here is my number one advice for you. Are you ready? You've got your pens? Okay. You're going to fake it. You're going to fake it until you get good at it. You might be saying, Shelley, gosh darn it, but honest to goodness, it is true. You have your scripts, you have your checklists, and you have to just psych yourself up and make the contact. These days, most of those contacts aren't necessarily done with the phone. But I want to encourage you to get on the phone with your hosts as often as you can, at least once, ideally 3 times. And, you know, would you like to know my story? I mean, you'd probably be stunned. Back in 2000, I joined in August of 2000. And I did what I was supposed to do. I got these parties booked. And for a year, my husband will tell you, I was petrified of coaching and calling people who were my hosts, who specifically had asked me to come and cook with them and their friends. Like, they wanted me to come. They wanted guidance. And I was just like, oh, what do I say? I was okay in the parties, but it was that guiding them. And I was just, I was so freaked out about it. I had my scripts, I had my stuff. Here's what I did. Had to fake it till I made it. I would actually, at the time, my office was on the other side of the house. And John will tell you, and he laughs about it to this day, that I would have to get myself completely psyched up. I'd have to like stand up. Okay, everybody do this. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. I'll show you exactly. Make sure you're not looking at my tummy while I'm doing this. Okay. Yes? Yeah. All right, ready? Here's what you do. And we used to do this before. I used to do this before getting on the phone to psych myself up. And the kids and I and John eventually started doing this before I left the house to go do a party. So football players know that this works. Ready? Everybody huddle up. Start copying. Come on. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to make phone calls. All right, we're going to call our host. Oh my God, we're going to do it. We're going to go. We're going to coach those hosts and book those parties and do it. And you get yourself absolutely physically adrenaline pumped, blood pumping, plop down in your chair, pick up the phone and call them. Hi, Brenda. This is Shelley with the Pampered Chef. Can you hear?
I can, yes.
Can you hear the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, it is a physical thing that you can do. You can fake yourself into a position of excitement and enthusiasm, positivity. Some people will say, put a mirror in front, next to your phone and look at yourself. You will smile. And when you're smiling, when you're on the phone, you are more excited. This is something that you cannot as effectively convey through text, through email, through Facebook Messenger. That's why it is important to physically get even a virtual party host on the phone, because they need to hear that excitement. And if you're nervous about guiding them, you can fake it. And that's how you do it. You huddle up and you do I would pump my feet and move my arms and I would run. Our house is set up where the kitchen comes into this room, goes through the hallway, past the bathroom, across my office. I would run laps. 4 or 5 laps, boom, sit down in the chair, pick up the phone and call. They thought I was out of my mind, but I had $1,017 show average my first full year as a Pampered Chef. And that's one of my tricks. Okay? The whole world was going nuts. Shelley, oh my gosh, your show average is, I'm like, what? I just did what they taught me to do. Just do what I'm teaching you to do. Okay? Okay, good. It isn't about what you're saying as much as it is about your enthusiasm and your genuine desire to help her have a successful party. I mentioned that in the very beginning. And that is huge. It's not necessarily about the words you say, but I will tell you a little secret about host coaching and about your business and about being a pampered chef and in business. Guess what? Kind of sneak in here and listen, because this is like secret information. All right, ready? You know more about how this works than your hosts do. You got that? Jot that down. That's huge. When I have a new consultant come to me and say, oh, we're doing 3 recipes and I'm bringing all my products, and she's got tons more food. Kim's smiling. She knows what I'm talking about. That is a sign of a host leading the consultant versus the consultant leading the host. Because a brand new consultant doesn't necessarily know how to guide their host. They have to learn by fire. They have to learn by having gone to a party and done 3 or 4 or 15 recipes and realized they didn't get any sales, they didn't get any bookings, they didn't, it took 4 hours. And then they go, oh, I see. Okay, I need to guide that host. Between you and the host, you are the voice of authority, even if you've only been here 2 or 3 days as a consultant. Between you and her or him, you know more. And so I don't want you to be pushy, and I don't want you to browbeat them, but I do want you to have that voice of authority. Can you hear it in my voice? Okay, so because they're going to come back to you. When you have a host who's going to have people over to her house, or she's going to invite her friends into a virtual event, what are they concerned about? What is your host most concerned about? Put yourself in their shoes. Who can kind of fill me in? What are they?
Is everyone having fun?
Everyone having fun. Okay, what else?
How much work it is.
How much work it is. Okay, what else?
Space.
Say again?
Space in their home.
What does my
Okay.
kitchen look like? Where are they going to sit? Are they going to have enough food? Okay. Does the glassware match the plates? Do I have the appetizers that match is there a theme? This is what they're thinking about. And if you let them stay in that spot, because have you ever hosted? That's what a host thinks about. Do I have enough food? Is everybody going to have a good time? Are they going to be comfortable? They're coming to my home, or they're being invited into a virtual environment, and I want them to have a good experience, right? And so that's what hosts are concerned about. If you as the consultant let them live in that spot, if you let them stay there, you will arrive to their party and they will have a really gorgeous spread of food and a beautifully arranged table and chairs all set up that are completely empty. Okay, they're completely empty. Or it's a party that will cancel the night before because they never got invitations out. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you experienced it? Okay. So between you and your host, you are the person who knows more about this. And it is your job to guide her or him so that they don't have a failed party, right? I mean, certainly you can go and you can cook the quick cooker and make the chicken lettuce wraps with her and her mother and her grandmother. But they're going to be disappointed. They're going to sit there halfway through going, gosh, dang it, I wish there were more people here. You know that. And if you're brand new, trust me and trust everybody who's smiling and nodding on this call because they know it. That is what happens. So the skill you're employing to make sure that's not your result is host coaching. Okay, are we good? Is this helpful, everybody?
It is.
Good so far? Okay, good deal. I am not following this PowerPoint at all. All right. So, in case you didn't notice, right? Renee told me at the end of the very first week, I said, how was the call? Because I was busy or wasn't on the first call. And she goes, it was great, but it was exactly what Jennifer said on her video. I'm like, oh, okay, well, anyway, we kind of all are sharing our expertise. So there you go. All right, so when it comes to host coaching, any questions up to this point? We're going to get into the nitty gritty now. Can someone see that chat and see if there are questions?
Still nothing new.
Okay, good deal. So there are really only two things that you need to keep your host focused on in order to host coach her to a successful party. What are they? Quiz time. Two things they need to focus on. What are they?
Attendance.
Ding, ding, ding. That is number one. And it's over inviting, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's number one. Over inviting. Pocket that. Set that aside. What's number two?
Outside sales.
Kim, ding, ding, ding. Nice. Nicely done. Your outside orders. Okay.
My first party, my daughter invited a bunch of people. 14 people showed up, and it was pulling teeth to try and get orders. My second party, I think she invited 130 people. I said, how did you do that? She went on Facebook. 3 people showed up, so there were 4 people there. And it was a really good party, and she got outside sales.
Then she got outside orders. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and on the first
and
one,
she booked another one. Yeah, I mean, she booked another one because she was encouraged, thinking, I'll get more people the next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't always rely on people showing up, so you have to have those outside orders.
Outside orders, which is a function of over inviting. And so you point out something really good. You can have a fabulous party with one person attend. I can picture the $900 party I did, and we had 1 guest physically there that day. Actually, I can picture another one where we had 3 attend. She had a $700 party, and she signed. So Crystal is a consultant. She's the one who finished the 6 Weeks to Success program this summer. So it can be done. It's just not as fun. Okay. And so Kim, you guys be friends with Kim and pick her brain about how she got, what's your show average, Kim?
It's not good. I mean, it's okay. I think it was about maybe 500 or 400. It was just kind of all over the map. It wasn't great. I don't know how I did.
And that's what an average is. You had some high ones, some low ones, and I want to be sure to point that out to everybody. Pay attention not to, when you're taking new skills that you're learning here during our 6 weeks and you're implementing them, don't stop after just one party. Okay, give it a month, give it 2 months, look at your averages. Kim's being shy. She has a very good show average for a brand new consultant. Very good average. Okay.
My good thing was that my party with 4 people, including my hostess, 2 out of the 3 guests booked a party, and my host booked another party. So 3 out of 4 people booked another.
That's
so
wonderful.
that was encouraging because they had fun.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And clearly you did a good party because you got a really high percentage of bookings. So that's the translation there. Very, very good. And then you got you did good host coaching because you got your host out there collecting more orders. So way to go. Awesome. Great start. Kim, when did you sign up?
I signed on July 18th. So my first month end was actually the 27th of August.
In your second month. Way to go. Great, great job. Love it. Okay, what are the 2 things you need to keep your host focused on?
Attendance and outside orders.
Over inviting and outside orders, because that's what's going to be the key. So it would look like this. My standard initial conversation with my host goes something like this. Would you guys like to hear it? I haven't done this for consultants in a while. So ring, ring, ring. Brenda, pick up the phone.
Hello, it's Brenda.
Brenda, hey, it's Shelley with the Pampered Chef. Hi, I'm so excited about cooking with you. Do you have a minute?
I sure do.
Marvelous. Hey, would you like to know how to have an absolutely stunning party?
Well, of course, I definitely want that new quick cooker. And
I bet
the
you
less to pay for it,
do.
the better.
Oh, I'm jotting down your goals. A quick cooker. I love it. You know, you're going to really want to make a great, big, massive wish list. Okay. Okay.
I can do that.
All right. I hope so. Please do take one of those catalogs I sent to you and put your name on the top and make that your wish list. Don't hand that out to anybody. Keep one for yourself. Okay. We are going to stock your kitchen like crazy. It's going to be brilliant. Have you looked around your kitchen and just kind of pictured all your Pampered Chef in your cabinets?
I have. I've been starting to weed out some of my old stuff that I need to get rid of.
Nice. I love it. Very, very cool. So here's the scoop. This is how you do it. The number one trick to having a humdinger of a party is to invite every single person that you know who eats. Okay?
Okay, yeah. I think I can do that.
That's a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I hear you. And you know what? Here's what I found over doing over 2,200 parties and helping 2,200 people, wonderful hosts like you, stock their kitchen, is that you are probably only going to get 1 out of every 5 that you invite who will actually be there to cook with us next week. Did you realize that?
Okay. No, I actually never really realized that.
Mm-hmm. So my question for you is, how many people have you invited so far?
I think I've counted about 15, maybe 15, 20.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's wonderful. So guess what? I know you're not done. But if you were to stop now, we will be cooking, if you've invited 15, 1 out of 5, we will be cooking with 3 people next week.
Oh.
Ta-da! Honest to gosh, that's exactly how it works. And, you know, everybody's really busy. So, you know, even those, we might be a 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7. So I want to really encourage you to invite every single person. You want to work on inviting like 40, 50, 60, 80,000 people. And you're probably saying, I don't know that many people, Shelley, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I know that many people. Yeah, maybe I can.
Okay, there's all kinds of ways, stepping out of my role here for a second, there's all kinds of ways to help your host. But what I typically do is kind of start going through the list. So Brenda, just want to check and make sure that you've invited all of your neighbors. Have you invited all of your neighbors?
I've invited a few. There's a few people that I just don't feel uncomfortable. I feel comfortable with having over my home. But I've invited a couple, and I know one of my neighbors said that she was going to bring her sister along. She loves to cook. So
okay, all right. I'm going to stop her right there. So you're going to go through the list. Neighbors. Have you invited all of your family? Have you invited everybody you work with or you used to work with? Have you invited everybody? Friends of your kids. Parents of your kids' friends. You're going to work your way through the list, and you're going to get, like Brenda just said, she's like, oh no, I haven't invited all my fill in the blank neighbors, friends, family, for whatever reason. Your job at this point is to help her, give her permission to over invite and to not prejudge. Have you ever found yourself doing that in your Pampered Chef business, prejudging?
Mm-hmm.
We do all the time, don't we? Okay. So here's how I respond to that. I'll ask something specific of Brenda, like, Brenda, did you invite all your neighbors? And inevitably they'll say, oh, I don't know them, or, oh, we're not very close. I'm not sure. Okay. Here's my response. You guys ready? Because you've heard this before, right? Okay. Oh, goodness. Boy, I really wouldn't want to be you when they find out that you had a Pampered Chef shindig and you didn't invite them. Ooh, okay, that goes for the neighbors, the family, the coworkers, the entire list. Any one of those categories. Oh, shoot, I wouldn't want to be you, because you're going to be embarrassed. And I want to help prevent you from being embarrassed by somebody saying, oh, You had a Pampered Chef thing and you didn't tell me, you didn't invite me. So Brenda, what I want to do is encourage you not to make decisions for other folks. You really have no idea who's just dreading going to Macy's because they desperately need cookware, and they'd much rather get it from your party than have to go and deal with them all. And you just don't know. So let's do this. It's super stressful to pick and choose. Super stressful on you to pick and choose who to invite. My recommendation and my guidance for you is to simply invite everybody. And that way, it's not on you. They get to make their own decision about whether to come or not, but no one is ever, ever offended. Okay, Brenda?
Okay.
Okay. I lovingly call that social pressure. That's a terrible, terrible term for it. But in reality, it is. It works. It works. I want to help protect you because the normal inclination is to prejudge. Oh, this person doesn't have any money. This person doesn't cook. This person doesn't, they eat out all the time. This person doesn't have time. You're making a decision for them. Mm-hmm. And I want to take that out of the equation so that you give them the respect of letting your friends make their own decisions and you're not on the hook. And guess what, Brenda? If you invite 50 people and they all show up, okay, I said 1 out of 5, right? Which means if you invite 50, there should be 10 if I'm right. Mm-hmm. And if I'm wrong, everybody write this down. Repeat after me. I do excellent crowd control. I do. Repeat after me. You need to say this to the mirror in your bathroom 5 times every morning. I do excellent crowd control, because you need to say it like you mean it. And guess what? You do. You do. You do excellent crowd control. Bring them on. 50 people. I've done a cooking class for 300 before. Have you?
Nope.
I was terrified. But I do excellent crowd control. Okay? There's no way that everybody is going to attend that she invites. Yeah. She thinks she's got 5 special friends, and if she invites her 5 special friends, she will have 5 special friends there, but she's wrong. She'll have 1. You are the voice of authority. You know, because you've experienced this, and she doesn't because she hasn't. Even if you're coaching a consultant from another company, you've got to take them through this process. Even if you're coaching a host who's had a party with you before, you have got to coach them. And you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You get better and your parties get better. And then the proof's in the pudding. They will see that they invited 40 and they had 8 show up. And guess what? Here's the next thing you're going to say to Brenda while you're coaching her. You're going to invite 40 and a 5th are going to show up. Guess what? Those other 4, Brenda, they are going to place orders. They're going to place orders. Okay? You know what I'm doing? You know why I'm shaking my head? Is because you are giving her, you're setting her expectation. Yep. Right? You're helping set expectations. Go back to Brenda and I doing our pretend call. Okay? Mm-hmm. And you heard me kind of begin to coach her. Did you hear anything that I said during that time, during that exchange, where I was setting expectation? Think about what I said. What did I tell Brenda to do?
Invite everyone she knows.
Invite everybody.
Everyone she knows that likes to eat.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
To invite everyone she knows that likes to eat.
Invite everybody you know who likes to eat. Exactly. So that's a good visual. But before then, I said, I asked permission, and I said, we'd like to know how to have a great party. And I told her to keep one of the catalogs. So look around your kitchen. Picture it full of Pampered Chef. You're going to have a huge shopping list. You're going to have not shopping list. You're going to have a huge shopping spree. Right? Okay. That is setting an expectation. And it's very powerful. You are setting an expectation for, I just went to the wrong thing. for her having a really big party. And you should do that often, right? Like, oh my gosh, I hope you cleared out your cabinets. This is setting an expectation. It takes a little bit of practice, but pay attention to little things like that. If you need some extra help with host coaching, get with your director and listen in when they host coach one of their hosts. Listen in. Listen to them do it. Okay? You'll hear words to use that you can practice on. You can use in yours. Okay, is this helpful? Mm-hmm. Okay, what are the 2 things that you need to stay focused on? Keep your host focused on.
Attendance and outside orders.
Over inviting and outside orders. And I want you to be really specific. So Brenda, if I go to you and say, Brenda, are you inviting lots of people? And you say yes.
Yes.
And I keep on going. And then I get there and there's 3. I've missed something, right? You need to get specific. Ooh, tell me, how many have you invited? Ask them, how many have you invited? Because to her, over inviting and inviting lots may mean inviting her 5 favorite friends. And you need to know, this is your business. This is your business, and it is your time you're taking away from your family, and you need to treat it like a business, even if it's part-time, even if you're a hobbyist, which you guys aren't because you're here, but as you're welcoming other people to Pampered Chef, you're going to make sure that you teach them these skills that you want to say. How many people have you invited? And let's say Brenda comes back and says she's invited 15, which is what she said. Your answer is, oh my gosh, that's a fabulous start. So we've found that you get 1 to 5 that you invite will be there. Look at the list. Did you invite all your neighbors? Did you invite everybody you work with? Oh, no. And then you start dealing with with objections. Okay. So then next time you talk to her, how many people did you invite? I've invited 25. Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. I know you're not done. We find we've gotten 1 out of 5. Okay, so if you stop, you're going to have this. Okay, next time you talk to her, Brenda, how many did you invite? I've invited 85 people, Shelley. That's a great start, Brenda. We have found that you're going to get 1 out of 5. No matter what her answer is, you go down that road. Okay, her party's only going to benefit. All right. Okay, is this helpful?
Yeah.
Okay, there are certain crutches and tools and fun games that you can use to help your host over invite. But I don't know 40 people, right? There's tic-tac-toe. There's different things like a scavenger hunt, tic-tac-toe. I'll post this on our Facebook event page. I've done things that they lovingly call this a guilt letter. It's a handwritten note you send to every host once they've booked their party that says, thank you so much. I want you to have a great party. And by the way, I pay my mortgage with my Pampered Chef business. Or my kids are really excited about your party helping us earn our vacation to Disney next year. Okay, that's what this is. For a couple years, I did letters like this because I had fallen down on my host coaching and I needed to ramp it back up. Okay. Whatever you do you put in place for your host coaching, I want you to really make a system out of it, which means you have some kind of a checklist and you are consistent. Because you don't want to be, for example, the night before a party realizing that you didn't send a shopping list. That sucks, right? Or you don't want to be the night before somebody's party realizing you haven't called them in 2 weeks. You want to have a system. And there are systems out there. There are checklists that Pampered Chef has made available. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Just, I would used to tell my new consultants, go onto the website, find the host party checklist, and print out 20 copies and just start using it for every host you've got. Check it off. Yes, you can fine tune it as you go along, but this gets you started. Okay, is everybody using a checklist? Does everybody have a system? You want to have a system. because a system is the magic to you being able to do one party a month or 20 and have your host not realize that anybody else is on your radar except for her. Okay, I have a checklist. And so when it's my host coaching day and I sit down to host coach, I make sure that if I'm sending an email to one host, that I send it to one host and then the other and then the other and then the other and then the other, and all I'm changing is their name and their date in that email. And then I go into my sent email box and I pull those emails, those host coaching emails, into my host coaching folder in my email. That way when I go to do it for the next batch of hosts, I just open it up and click forward, change Sally to Harry and change their date and send it. You following me? Okay. That's an aspect of a system. You want to have a system. So once you kind of get this in place, you will have a system of, say, emails and maybe text messages and maybe Facebook messages. And really what you're doing is you're copying and pasting for each host because you have a system. Okay, they don't even know. I'm going to open up my cell phone right here in my pictures. In my cell phone, I have a folder called Host Coaching, and it has the 6 different pictures that I use to host coach my hosts. So my system includes, when I first book a party, I set up their party on my personal website, enter them with their name, address, phone number, and contact info in my phone, and I send them their first email so that when I'm out and about, I can just open this and text them the next piece of the host coaching that they need to get. Is anybody doing something like that? Okay. So once we are finished, you guys message me on Facebook and say, Shelley, share with us your 6 pictures that you use and you keep in your phone that I can borrow. Because in Pampered Chef, we all share, right? Okay, so we're talking about Canva and Red Stamp, and those were individual pictures that someone would mock up and write on to make it customized for a specific host. I never did that because it took extra time. I have a picture that talks about over-inviting. And then I have another picture that talks about collecting outside orders. And I have another picture that talks about joining us. Another picture that talks about doing reminders. Okay, so those are all available and I will share them with you. Somebody tag me on the page and I'll send them. Kim, text me and I'll send those to you. Okay. All right, helpful? Okay, so there's a lot of other details that you can get into for host coaching, but they all fall into the same category: over inviting and getting outside orders. And you can do things like offer an incentive if they have 10 RSVPs before, adult RSVPs before the date of the party. You'll bring the ingredients for chocolate lava cake. My version of this now is cheesecake in the quick cooker. So I'll make a cheesecake and bring it and take her ingredients and replace mine if she's got over 10 RSVPs confirmed before the day of the party. Pretty cool, huh? She's going to work her tail off to make sure she's got RSVPs. Good? Okay. Anybody have questions about what to put in a host packet? You guys are all masters at host packets? Excellent. Keep it simple. Your system includes, at the beginning of each season, set up 30 host packets. 40, 50. How many parties a month do you do? I do 10. It's a 6-month season, right? That's 60 host packets. I set them all up at the beginning of the season. Good? Okay, we may think multitasking is a valuable thing, but it's a super big waste of our time. When you go to do one step, do a bunch of it. Focus on it and do a massive bunch of it. Set up your catalogs all at once. Set up your host packets all at once. Don't do it as you go. With me? Time-saving things, okay? So there's all kinds of, this was when Red Stamp was very big, where people were setting up individual invitations. Now under the imagery, there's invitations. They're beautiful. Use Pampered Chefs. You don't need to make them. Okay. All right. So I will look through here and I will copy and paste various things that I didn't get to that were in this PowerPoint. I promise. I'm going to stop sharing this. What questions do you have? The picture for non-Facebook people to get the photo. Which photo are you talking about, Melissa? Those ones that I have on my cell phone?
Yes.
Yes. Write down my cell phone number. You ready?
1 second.
Okay. Yeah. So I have an email system. I have a cell phone texting system, and I have a Facebook system. So I do have a lot that makes up my whole host coaching world. Do I use all of it for every host? Absolutely not. One of the things you ask them when you're first booking the party is, what's the best way for us to stay in touch? Because I'm going to guide you to have a great party. And then you check off the list. Is it email? Yes or no? Is it texting? Yes or no? Facebook message? Yes or no? And then you pick the ones that work for them. Okay? But you always want to make sure you're doing phone calls. Got those hosts that you can never reach by phone? I want you to leave a message. They need to hear the excitement in your voice. So if they're not responding to you on phone, that's okay. Leave the voicemail. Jump up and down, sit down, go, hey, Brenda, I'm so excited about our party next week. I bet you're out inviting like crazy for our party. I'm so excited. Keep doing a great job. 1 in 5 people are going to attend. So invite the world, everybody who eats, tell them all to bring a friend. And those who can't make it, they're going to want to place orders. If she hears that message, what's she going to do? Start inviting. Darn right she is. Okay. I am going to wrap us up. There are other questions that I haven't seen here, but one of the things that is very important personally to me is that I gave you good use of your time that you invested with me this evening. And I want to thank you very much for joining us this evening. I'm really proud of you guys for being here. And I gave you a lot, but I will lay awake at night wondering if you don't give me some feedback. So everybody's going to get a chance to give their one best, oh my gosh, wow, thing that they learned during our time together that made it worth it. The one you're going to act on first. So be thinking about that. Melissa, did you need my phone number?
Ready, yeah.
510 is the area code.
Okay.
290-2508.
All right, thanks.
Okay, text me. Let's be friends on text. So you text me, I will send you a series. I'll put you guys in a group. I'll send you the series of the pictures that I use, okay? All right, good. Okay, who's going to go first? What was your best ahas for our time together?
I'll go. My aha was how you shared the host coaching folder in your email. I hadn't thought about that before. I have one for new consultant training and new consultant emails, but you know, I haven't thought about putting that into my system.
Good deal. Yeah.
Quite yet. I use Trello, which is a different version. I have it there. I guess I could copy and paste, but it's again copy and paste it into my email. So I like using the email system. But while I'm here, I'll share. Anna and Monica and I had the pleasure of having Christina Maniscalco at our fall kickoff training, and she trained on her host coaching system. And I want to say to Anna and Monica and then Robin, I'm in the midst of trying to kind of implement her system, but making it my own, but using a lot what she used. But she shared I think she's got like an Evernote of it, but should I share?
Share it on the team page, absolutely. So for those of you who don't have a system, don't create one. Use somebody's that's working. Just take somebody's and plop it into place and start using it tomorrow. Don't fuss with it. Just change their name to yours. That's it. That's it. Don't spend time recreating the wheel. We all are so willing to share. Have you noticed? Good. Brenda, thank you so much. Yes, please share her Evernote. There's so many host coaching resources out there. Pick one and do it. Start implementing it, and then gradually you'll kind of get a sense of, okay, I need to fuss with this, that, or the other thing, but at least you got something in place. Don't start from scratch. Thank you, Brenda. Who else wants to share?
I can. I like to, helping to set the expectation. Am I on mute? Can you hear? Okay. And really just talking the numbers, excited about 15 invitations, but, letting them know what that would end up with, 3, and what's the start, but really just giving them the expectation and the numbers, and also just, for the expectation of having a great time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It starts with you, and you are the voice of authority. So really where new consultants or consultants who aren't host coaching, where they struggle is they're too vague. They aren't specific. And so hopefully you can use these words and just use them on your hosts. We're going to have a humdinger of a party. Okay. Now you may not believe it. I don't care. I want you to fake it, because that's exactly the way it works. Belief triangle, you guys familiar with that? It works. Fake that belief, it results, you take action, it gets you results, it reinforces your belief, it works. Okay, you have got to totally psych yourself into that position. Thank you, Monica, appreciate that. Very good, setting those expectations and being very specific about numbers. Love it. Who else?
Kim put something on the chat.
Okay, I got it back up and going. I'm very technologically challenged. I apologize. I think my biggest takeaway was to really have action with them, to be organized and just get it all done in advance, and to get the bookings quickly instead of spreading them out.
Booking close, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's a technique for that. Does anybody use a physical, actual calendar?
Yes.
Okay. I still do. Yes, my calendar is right here too, but I still do. This is a very good tool. And inside the page of my front page, there's little Post-it note flags. And I will, at my party, I will say, number one, you have to have it marked up with your available dates in yellow highlighter like that. You go through a month at a time and you mark your 3-hour blocks of time where you've got spaces for live parties or where you've got spaces for virtual parties. So you mark them. And then at the party, like this is what I did. So my party was Saturday, was with Cheryl was the host. And so while I'm doing full service checkout, I will have this right here and I'll say, hey, would you like to do some cooking with me? I would love to, just pamper you next time. Yes, sound good? And if they say, yeah, I go, great. And I look, I go, okay, today, here's your friend's party. Oh, my next available spot is tomorrow. How about tomorrow? You and I know that's ridiculous. 1 person out of 100 will book with you tomorrow. But that's your next available spot, right? Okay. And they laugh at you. You laugh together. Oh, that's too soon. Okay. My next available spot, I've got one Tuesday and one Wednesday. Which one of those works for you? And you're flipping the page on your weekly calendar. Not a monthly, a weekly calendar. And they'll go, oh, no, that's too soon. Okay, my next 2 available spots are next Saturday or Sunday. Which one of those should I hold for you? You've offered 3 times now. They're either going to tell you that they can't do it next week and it's got to be the week of the 20th or whatever, or they're going to accept one of those dates and ta-da, you have a booking next week. That works. And those little flags I was showing you, flip over to, it looks like this. Okay, that's what a party looks like. You write their stuff so that if she decides that day doesn't work, you go, oh, and he wants to do it the next day, we can pick it up and move it. You with me? Okay, that's a quick little version of my little booking technique for booking in close. Have your next 2 available dates. Write it on the palm of your hand if you need to, so that you are out and about and you're filling those. If you just open up a calendar and go, sure, when? They'll book 3 months from now, and then you're stuck with it. Okay, it's your business. Take control of it. I still use a hard copy calendar. I forgot it on my show the other day, actually. Okay, is that helpful?
Yes.
So thank you for sharing. Kim, sounds like you're going to be wanting to share some systems. So get in touch with me by cell phone or text or whatever. That way I can share some of mine with you. Who hasn't gotten a chance to share yet?
I haven't. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, go for it.
I think even just sometimes it's like the really simple basic stuff that like slaps me in the face. You know, I know that I've heard, like Brenda said, we were able to hear Christina's system, and everybody talks about making a checklist, but it's kind of like I just need to start actually doing it. And like you said, I think what really just hit me is like I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I just need to take a system that already works and just do it.
Yep. Raise your hand. We are pampered. We are not perfect. Done is better than in progress.
Yeah.
It's super hard for us women to get over that. You do not need to spend a lot of time working it out. New consultants who spend all their time training and playing with their tools and doing recipes, and 3 months go by and they've never done a party. That's what that looks like. Done is better than perfect, right? Just do it. If you need a crutch, tell your host, say, I'm trying something new. Would you let me practice on you? I don't care if you use that for the next 18 years. You go for it. Thanks, Anna. So just do it. Okay. Renee, hi.
Hi.
Did you hear any of our training tonight?
No, I'm going to have to watch the recording.
Okay, we've got it for you. And I've gone longer than I planned on. That is my middle name. I always do longer than I planned on. I apologize. Shame on me. Robin, did you get a chance to share?
Robin, if you want to share something, go down to the bottom with the microphone where it says mute or unmute.
Yeah, you're muted right now. So pull your cursor down to the bottom of the screen. There you go. Did you get it? Hi, Robin.
Hi.
What was your best? Oh my gosh! Wow, from the time tonight. And speak louder so I can hear you.
I'm just so glad I got here to watch this tonight because I missed the first two.
You made it.
Super happy about that. And I'm glad that I listened to. I watched the other videos, of course, but yeah, I wrote down a lot of different things, especially with the averages of only 1 out of 5 showing up, over invite, and outside sales, which I tell everybody all the time. Get as many outside sales as you can. I can't say I've booked a lot of parties, but I'm trying. You know, I'm getting there.
Baby steps.
I think the biggest thing I run into is the people say, oh, I don't really know that many. But you gave a good suggestion on that. And, you know, just to invite everybody, your neighbors, your...
having a super hard time hearing you. Brenda, can you hear her okay?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and she's kind of like Kim. She's technically
she's got it.
challenged.
I know my speaker's not terribly good, so that's okay. So are you feeling a little bit more confident, Robin?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Oh, now I can hear you. Marvelous. So guys, I threw a lot at you in this call. If you need to rewatch it, go for it. Okay. Sometimes we have to hear it a couple different times. Renee, how long have you done Pampered Chef?
4 years.
Have you had to rehear stuff more than once?
Over and over and over again. And it's okay.
It's perfectly fine. As a director, I can tell you one of the most hysterical things that we directors laugh about amongst ourselves is we'll giggle and say, my consultant came to me and said, I just heard the greatest idea. It was that only 1 in 5 people will attend. And we're like, how many times have I trained you on that? And she heard it from somebody else. You have to hear. You do. That's the way the human mind works. You need to hear it 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9 times, which is why you need to be in touch with your hosts a lot. And people you're talking to about doing a party, you need to be in touch with them a lot, because the first couple times you offer it, they'll say no, flat out. They say you look up the stats, the percentage of times the more yeses, you know, somebody gets asked about doing Pampered Chef or doing a party first time, second time, third time, the percentages are minuscule the first through fifth times. It's not to the sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth time they're asked that they actually will do it. Same goes for needing to hear things multiple times. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. Don't be frustrated with that. Just keep talking to them. Keep asking. Keep in touch. Did everybody get a chance to share? Anna, Robin, Brenda?
Not me.
Go for it.
I think my biggest thing is to be more specific with, because I'm one to say, oh, well, did you invite a lot of people? And they say yes, and you know what that means is not 40 people. So learning tips and tricks to be more specific, and I think the biggest takeaway too is to keep that mindset of I know more than them, because I'm always like, well, you know, and I feel like I'm inconveniencing.
Yeah.
But
get over that.
Just to be more bold about it.
Yeah. You're not alone, Melissa. That is absolutely a normal reaction from folks who are newer than I am. That is very normal. So you have to kind of experience it. You've probably done it where, you know, oh, did you invite lots of people? And she's like, yeah. And it was 5 and there's 1 there. And so then you kick yourself and go, gosh darn it. You have to experience it. We cannot.
That has happened to me on more than one occasion.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. I learned from Shelley, you have to be specific. How many people RSVP?
Mm-hmm.
How many people have you actually talked to?
Right. And not all on Facebook, and not all. It has to be a variety of different ways.
Yeah.
They say one of the screens that I didn't show you is called layered invitation. So you tell your host, send a Facebook message to invite them. Then send them a text to say, I sent you a Facebook message. Okay, or send them a text with an invite, and then send an email, says, I sent you a text. Text, email, Facebook. Don't rely on one, and teach them not to rely on one. Because if they miss it, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea you were having a party. I would have loved to have come, and I've got 5 friends who would love to have come with me. Missed opportunity, right? You are not bothering them. And if you think you are, come out and address it and say, I don't want it to be bothering you, but what I've found is that it helps my host if I'm in really close contact. And you know what their reaction will be? Thank you. Because they're busy. They're doing this party, but they're as busy as we are, aren't they? They are. Mm-hmm. Even if they're a stay-at-home mom, and they feel busy. So you are the voice of authority, and you're there to hold their hand and help them have a great party. So go for it. Go forward and host coach and watch your business go crazy. You will be thrilled. Good?
Shelley?
Yeah.
Quick question for you. I didn't catch your cell phone number before, so I've got to go. Talking about cooking and coaching, I've got to host coach my family into dinner. But I need your phone number.
Same here. I just sent it in the chat. It's 510-290.
Got it. Okay.
2508.
Awesome. Thank you so much for everything. So appreciate it. Great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am thrilled that I got a chance to play with you guys tonight and share. This always energizes me, and we are in the absolutely perfect place. And the last thing I will leave you with is during your host coaching, if you have not invited your host to come and do this at least 3, 4, 15 different times during host coaching, you are missing out. If you invite her at the party, she will say no. Okay, it goes back to needing to hear it several times. Invite her in the first moments. The first moment she booked that party, say, hey, by the way, I don't know if you've ever thought about this or not, but this party could be your kickoff. You could get all the bookings, and expect her to say no. We are women. We say no to the first time somebody offers something to us because we're busy. She's going to say, no way, I've got no time. If you are a consultant on my team and told me that, and you now are a consultant, I rest my case. because I offer the opportunity to people every time I touch them as much as possible. You've got to do it and be prepared that they will tell you no, and then they will change their mind. Half of hosts become consultants. Okay. All right. Let's go get them, guys. Thank you for spending this time with me. It was wonderful. It was a pleasure. I'm so excited for all of you. Let's rock it. And so many fun things going on. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Shelley.
Thank you, Shelley.
Great.
Bye-bye.